All right, we're at it again. We're going to open some 1990 Fleer basketball. Essentially, we are looking for definitely Jordan hunting here, but there are some unique cards that essentially can be found in here that are worth a little bit of money once graded PSA 10, of course. So we're going to take these 36 packs. We're going to try to burn right through them pretty quickly and see we can find any of these special cards. I know that I did send off 3 from the last the last box that I did open. So I sent 2 Michael Jordan cards and 1 Herb Williams card. The Herb Williams, I don't know, it's anomalies. Somebody needed it for a set or what have you, but those have Gem Mint 10. The Gem Mint 10 cards have gone for I think 180 and 150 respectively, but then there's other prices out there that are a lot lower. So again, I don't know if that's just a card that was needed by a collector. That could be the case with a few of these cards. But then besides the Jordan and that Herb Williams, there are the All-Star sticker cards. So those centered bring a nice little premium, you know, 90 to 150. The Jordan brings about 300 and something. So that being said, we have some fun cards to look at, but there's lots of rookies in this set, notably Tim Hardaway, Gary Payton. Gary Payton goes for a nice little amount in PSA 10, but again, these can be a little quirky on the centering. It's just like anything from the 80s and 90s, or really any card with a border. So let's get to it. All right, I see Willie Anderson on the back there. All right, we got Chuck Person, Reggie Williams, Theo Edwards, Vernon Maxwell, Kenny Smith, Mark Allery, Benoit Benjamin. I saw that card in the Gem Mint 10 go for about 50 or 60, I believe. Manute Bol, Nick Anderson, Mookie Blaylock, Tyrone Bogues. These are all rookies here. Dana Barros, Randy Brewer, Michael Adams, Willie Anderson. So I'm not going to separate those for now. I did last time, but this time we're just going to power right through these. All right. Anthony Bowie, John Battle, Bill Whittington, a little Scottie Pippen. I will put that one off to the side there. That one does go for about $60 to $70 in PSA 10, or it has recently anyways, somewhere in that area. Mark West, Jack Sikma, Blair Rasmussen, Terry Teagle, John Hot Rod Williams, Karl Malone, Purvis Short, Checklist, Darrell Walker, Jeff Malone, Charles Smith. '80s and '90s basketball was a great time to be alive as a kid that I was basically in high school, and I just fell in love with basketball. I played all through high school, and these were the golden years for me. Antoine Carr, Kevin Edwards, Craig Elo, Kevin Duckworth, Vladi, Bill Cartwright, Jeff Hornacek, Patrick Ewing, Joe Dumars, Charles Barkley, George McLeod. This is another card that I've seen on eBay, graded out as a 10. This wouldn't grade a 10 left to right. It's a little bit moved to the left there, but on the centering. But anyways, that card has gone for a little bit of money. Dennis Johnson, Mike Brown, Eric Sleepy Floyd, and Cliff Livingston. I should have pulled Chuck out of there, but I don't really know why I didn't. I'll go back through these and rectify that in a little bit. All right. Armand Gilliam, Sean Kemp. That's definitely a rookie. That goes for a little bit in a Gem Mint 10. Now, I pulled 4 of those last time, and I didn't send them in, but I might look at those again and see if I can send one to PSA. 1 or 2. Let's see. Sean Elliott, rookie, I believe. Paul Pressey, James Donaldson, Rodney McRae, Glenn Rice, rookie. Jerome Kersey, Urban Magic Johnson. All right. my favorite player growing up. Looks pretty centered. Craig Hodges, Kevin Johnson, and Johnny Newman. Again, there are 36 packs, and there's 15 cards per pack. Fred Roberts, Derek Harper, Harold Presley, Ron Cycli, Larry Nance, Terry Porter, Byron Scott, Michael Jordan.
North Carolina, Edgar, Michael Jordan.
All right, this one's definitely way off center. I will not be sending this in, but it is pack fresh. Lovely. Lovely. Dan Marley, Charles Oakley, Bill Laimbeer, Mike Jaminski, Mike Sanders, Tim McHale, and traded to Sacramento, Robert Hansen. Okay, rolling right along. Sal Thompson, Ed Pinckney, Derek Smith, Dan Shays, Bernard King, Ken Norman, Chris Mullin, Reggie Theus, Chris Morris. There's a J.R. Reed rookie. Played against him in high school. Again, I think I talked about this last time, but the interesting thing with him was that his team was super small. Everybody was about this height, and he was the guy that was essentially their center. But he was just so good. So good. Xavier McDaniel, Todd Murphy, Lafayette Lever. Oh, there's a David Robinson. Now, David Robinson did come out his rookie card in the Hoops, NBA Hoops, the year before, 1980. But this is also, I believe, considered his rookie card in this 1990 Fleer set. I also passed up, I believe, a Ron Cycli where I'll pull it back out or show it, put it on the screen, where I believe Michael Jordan is guarding him. They say that's an error card if he has Ron on there. I'm not so sure that's true or not, instead of Ronnie with a Y. So go back and check that one and see if I have it. I believe I called out Ron Cycli. So missed that one. Okay, Larry Nance, Terry Porter. I am really looking for a Gary Payton, a Michael Jordan.
North Carolina, Edgar, Michael Jordan
Is nice, but again, unfortunately, a little off center, but always nice to hit a Michael Jordan. All right, Dan Marley, Charles Oakley, Bill Laimbeer, and our first. This looks really good. I mean, pretty decent. It's still a little wider here than over here. So this is either a 9 or an 8. Yeah, it's kind of it's a little better than some of the ones that I got last time. So this is nice. So a nice little sticker card. Okay, all-star card. Danny Young, James Worthy, Will Perdue, Kurt Rambis, Gerald Wilkins, Isaiah Thomas, and John Stockton. John Stockton, what an Iron Man, what a player. Guy was, I hear, a super tough player. I don't want to say dirty, but he did what he had to do with the height that he had. Oh, look, there's Ron Cycli. So you can see on the back, Ronnie Cycli with a Y. Let's turn it around. There's Jordan guarding him, and there's Ron Cycli. But this is definitely not a 10. So, but that always gets a little bit of play because of Jordan on the card as well. Anything Jordan's on, he elevates the value a bit. But okay. Dan Shays, Bernard King, Ken Norman, Chris Mullin, Reggie Theus, Chris Morris, another rookie, J.R. Reed. Every time I see this card, I think it's Gary Payton. I don't know. I could be totally mistaken, and Gary Payton might be in an update set, so could be totally blowing that one. Lafayette Lieber, another David Robinson. That card looks pretty good, left to right, top to bottom. You know, first glance, pack fresh, looks nice. So maybe that goes in, maybe it doesn't. Definitely have to check it out. So 2 David Robinsons. All right, we are finishing up the first column or stack, and we'll have 3 stacks left. All right, thanks for joining me again today. Looking for Jordans, looking for stickers. Here we go. Dennis Rodman, Mike Brown, Eric Sleepy Floyd, Cliff Livingston, Danny Young, James Worthy, Will Perdue, Kurt Rambis, Gerald Wilkins, Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton, LaSalle Thomas, Ed Pickney, Derek Smith. Checklist. Okay. All right, I'm on to our last 3 stacks. So here we go. Second stack, I should say. Oh, right off the top, another David Robinson. Doesn't look as good as the last one. I'll put that on here. Top to bottom, this one over here looks a lot better than this one here. Got a little bit thick on the bottom. I like the spacing here. We'll see. I have to give it a better eye. But we've got 3 rookie Robinsons. All right, Fred Roberts, Derek Harper, Harold Presley. There's Ron Cycli again. So they all seem to say Ron. I don't know that I buy. Maybe it's just because it's a Gen Mint 10, but I'll put that one off to the side because it does have Jordan in it. Larry Nance, Terry Porter, Byron Scott, Michael Jordan.
North Carolina, Michael Jordan.
It's pretty good. We've hit 3 Michael Jordans. Too bad they're off center. This is what I'm talking about. Dan Marley, Charles Oakley, Bill Laimbeer, Mike Jaminski, Mike Sanders, Kevin McHale. But this is a fun little box to open. You can get it between $60 and $100. I think both the ones after taxes and shipping, I paid approximately $85 to $90 on both boxes that I've purchased so far. So they're a fun box just to open every now and again. Otis Thorpe, Dominique Wilkins, the Human highlight film. What a playa. Harvey Grant, Ron Harper, Rod Higgins, Sidney Green, Lester Connors, or something stuck there. Nope. Lester Connor, Del Curry. Well, you know whose dad he is, right? Steph Curry's dad. Del Ellis, Tyrone Corbin, Alex English, Terry Cummings. Loved watching Terry Cummings play. Especially, I think he came out of DePaul. That what college he worked? Yep, DePaul University. Way back in the day. Ricky Pierce, Brad Davis, and Never Nervous Purvis Ellison out of Louisville, I believe. Used to know so much more about every player back in the day. But, you know, as you get older, you have other responsibilities, I guess, and kind of let things go by the wayside. All right. Vinnie Johnson. Oh, we got a sticker. Magic Johnson. Okay. Ooh, this, my friends, and he's my favorite player, looks really good. A little skosh to the right here, to my right. But that's a nice looking card. All right, the Magic Man. Okay, we'll see. See a little white in that corner right off. Yeah, looks like there's a little bit of a ding there. Ah, such a shame. Such a shame. Okay. I'll have to take a look at that again. Vinnie Johnson, Buck Williams, Orlando Woolrich, John Paxson, Nate McMillan, John Sally. Oh, there's that Herb Williams I was talking about, but this is a little off left to right. I don't know. Maybe it's just a tough grade. I think the pop count on this was like 8 to 10 on Gem Mint 10. So maybe it's just a tough card to get with people trying to complete these Gem Mint 10 sets. Super collectors, if you will. So we'll see. But definitely not sending that one in. Rick Smits, Jim Paxson, Rick Mahorn, Mitchell Wiggins, Kevin Ellis, Tom Hammond. Okay. Halfway through the second stack, almost. Just about there. All right, John Paxson, Nate McMillan, Kenny Walker, John Sally. There is a Herb Williams, but again, a little off center. Rick Smits, Jim Paxson, Rick Mahorn, Mitchell Wiggins, Kevin Willis, Tom Hammond, Danny Manning. What a player. He is also super good. Sarunas Marciulionis, also really good for the Warriors. Otis Smith, tough rebounder, tough player. And Dennis Hobson. All right, Grant Long, Danny Ferry, Byron Irvin, AC Green, Horace Grant, Eddie Johnson, Mark Jackson, James Edwards, Scott Brooks, Reggie Miller. That looks really good. Maybe a little top thickness needs to be a little bit more up there. All right, Joe Klein, Mark Eaton, Buck Johnson, Moses Malone, and Orlando Woolridge. All right. Let's try to speed this up a little bit. All right, Sidney Green, Lester Carner, Del Curry, Del Ellis, Tyrone Corbin, English, Cummings, Pierce, Davis, Ellison, Long, Ferry, Irvin, Green, and Grant. All right. Oops. All right, Scott Jordan.
North Carolina, head guard, 6'6", Michael Jordan.
Wow, 4 Jordans, all off center. All off center. All right, Marley, Oakley, Lambier, and a Tom Chambers. Not too bad. The last stickers I had were definitely way off, but these are a little better. A little better with a little better spacing. Okay. Percy Hawkins, Detlef Shrimp, Robert Parrish, Lechner, Thorpe, Wilkins, Grant, Harper, Higgins. Norman, Mullen, Theus, Morris, Reed, McDaniel, Murphy, Lever, another Robinson. That looks really good too. Okay. I like that one. It's like our third Robinson. Fred Roberts, Derek Harper, Harold Presley. There's another Ronnie Cycli. A little off left to right. Larry Nance, Terry Porter. Finishing up the second stack. Eric Floyd, Livingston, Young, Worthy, Purdue, Rambus, Wilkins, Thomas, Stockton, Thomas, Pickney, Smith, Checklist, Shays, King. Bernard King, what an offensive player. Love that guy, especially when he was on the New York Knicks. All right, moving into the third stack. 2 left. Hanson, Olajuwon, The Dream, nice. Webb, Eccles, Garland, Tim Hardaway, Catledge, Bowie, Chapman, Cage, Campbell, Davis, Bukowski, Humphreys. My favorite player growing up before Magic Johnson in the 70s, especially late 70s into the 80s with Magic, was Adrian Dantley. Adrian Dantley was actually a Laker for a little bit, so that's kind of why I liked him. Came from his rookie cards in the Buffalo Braves. All right, Stacey King, Tim Perry, Trent Tucker, Dennis Rodman, like that, but a little off left to right. David Robinson, okay, that's nice, except, again, as these stickers are, a little off left to right, so it is what it is. But I like that I got a David Robinson. I don't think I've pulled one of those quite yet. Jaminski, Sanders, McHale, Hansen, Olajuwon, Webb, Eccles, Garland, Hardaway, rookie Hardaway. Keep it going. Okay, BJ Armstrong, Tom Chambers, Cheeks, Aguirre, Anderson, Fleming, Bird. Oh, I wanted a Bird. These also do well in PSA 10s. You know, just under $90 or so, but well, keep it off to the side. Hall of Famer. Thurl Bailey, Anthony Bowie, John Battle, David Wingate. David Wingate came out of Georgetown. I just loved Georgetown in the 80s, along with UNLV and NC State. Those were for whatever reason, the teams I watched. They were on NBC and things of that nature, and that's what I love to watch. Scottie Pippen. All right, that one doesn't look too bad. Mark West and Jack Sikma. All right, Eddie Johnson, Mark Jackson, Edwards Brooks, Miller, Klein, Eaton, Johnson, Malone, Williams, Woolridge, Paxson, McMillan, Walker, Sally, Spider Sally. Checklist. George McLeod, Johnson, Brown, Floyd, Livingston, Worthy, Purdue, Rambis, Wilkins, Thomas, Stockton, Thompson, Pickney, Smith, checklist. All right. Manute Bowl, Nick Anderson, Mookie Blaylock, rookie, Bogues rookie, Barros rookie, Randy Brewer, Adams, Willie Anderson, possibly rookie, Greer, Blackman, Ainge, Douglas, perhaps rookie, Doherty, Clyde the Glide. That looks really good. Keep that off to the side here. And Michael Cooper. A lot of good players, mid-80s to 90s. Ron Anderson, Vern Fleming, another Larry Bird, way off center again. Thurl Bailey, Bowie, I see a sticker coming up. Battle, oh, Charles Barkley. Again, not that bad, not too shabby. We'll have to take a closer look and see if that's worth sending in. Perhaps. Dawkins, Perkins, Reggie Lewis, Edwards, Vern Maxwell, Kenny the Jet Smith, Mark Allery, Benoit Benjamin. Now this Benoit Benjamin, I noticed, did pretty well in PSA 10s too. I think, again, just people trying to complete their graded sets. So, especially if they're going for Gem Mint 10s, some are just willing to pay a premium. Barros, Brewer, Adams, Anderson, Greer, Blackman, Ainge, Douglas, Doherty, Drexler. Again, a very nice Drexler there. Cooper, Armstrong, Chambers, Cheeks, Aguirre. All right, last one of the third stack, and we'll move on to the final rack here. All right. Perry, Tucker, Rodman, Dawkins, Person, Lewis, Edwards, Maxwell, Smith, Allery, Benjamin, Bowl, Anderson, Blaylock, Bogues, rookie. Here we go. Bowie, Chapman, Cage, Campbell, Davis, Brikowski, Humphreys, Dantley, Carr, Edwards, Elo, Duckworth, Divox, Cartwright, Hornacek. Stockton, Thompson, Pickney, Smith, Checklist, Shays, King, Norman, Mullen, Theus, Morris, Reed, Daniel, Murphy, Lever. Okay. Got Nance, Porter, Scott, another Jordan.
North Carolina, Edgar, Michael Jordan.
And just so off. Wow, might just sell these in a lot then. Okay, very cool to pick though. At least we're picking them up. We're getting them. Marley, sticker coming. Oakley, Lambier, Jordan. Chambers. I got enough chamber stickers, but all right. Hawkins, Shrimp, Parrish, Lechner, Thorpe, Wilkins, Grant. Happy to get any Jordans though. Just happy. It's always exciting, always fun. He's the GOAT. Gotta admit, he's the guy. All right, Shays, King, Norman, Mullen, Theus, Morris, Reed, McDaniel, Murphy, Lever, Robinson. Again, one doesn't look too bad, but a little thick up top. Roberts, Harper, Presley. There's that Cycli again. Cycli looks a little better, but definitely a little wide on the right side. Okay. All right. Robertson, Perkins, Tisdale, Thompson, Price, Robinson, Thompson, King, Perry, Tucker, Rodman, Dawkins, Person, Lewis, Edwards. All right. Williams, Malone, Short, Walker, Malone, Smith, Richmond, Vincent, Shackelford, Tripucka, McKee. Oh, that's my first Derek McKee out of Alabama. Love that player. Love the way he played. Really did. Love the way he played. Pooh Richardson out of UCLA, Lichty, Strickland. Dumars, Barkley, McLeod, Johnson, Brown, Floyd. Here comes a sticker. Another Charles. Round mound or rebound. This again looks pretty good, but a little thick off to the side there. Wingate, Wennington, Pippen. All right, not a bad Pippen. West, Sigma, Rasmussen, and Teagle. All right, what I'm gonna do is I need to reset these cameras. I know this one's gonna shut down, so we're gonna be right back just like that. And we're back with the last two packs. All right, thanks for joining me today. This has been great. Let's see what we can get. Let's see if there's any magic left in this box. Rex Chapman, Michael Cage, Tony Campbell, Walter Davis, Frank Bukowski, Jay Humphreys, Adrian Dantley, and Antoine Carr, Kevin Edwards, Craig Elo, Kevin Duckworth, Vlade Divac, Bill Cartwright, Jeff Hornacek, and Patrick Ewing out of Georgetown. All right, the last pack. Here we go. Last pack. Give it the nice mojo touch. Here we go. Sam Bowie on the back. Oh, look at that. A Jordan right on the front.
North Carolina, head guard, 6'6", Michael Jordan.
And what do you know? Way off. Like the most off that you could get. All right, no biggie. Dan Marley, Charles Oakley, Beer Lambier. How about one more sticker? Is there a sticker in here? Let's be surprised. Doesn't feel like it. Mike Jaminski, Mike Sanders, Kevin McHale, Robert Hansen, Akeem Olajuwon, Spud Webb, Liddell Eccles, Winston Garland, rookie Tim Hardaway, Terry Catledge, and Mr. Irrelevant of this box is Sam Bowie. Well, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Until the next one, we did pretty well here. Had a good time. Hope you did too. Till the next time, peace.